button and click that notification bell to be updated to all new videos. Hello guys, it's Sapphire Morningstar. I'm here with season 2 of Siren, episode 5. In this episode, titled Primal Instincts. So we see this polymarine forming. That's what they're calling it between Ben, Ren, and Maddie. It's called the polymarine because clearly it's going to be a poly relationship. One of them just happens to be a mermaid, so hence the term polymarine. So they're getting into this polymarine thing, and it doesn't really sit well with Cammy because she ends up, I guess she was trying to go talk to Ren, and she ends up opening the door and she sees, Ren sleeping with both Ren and Maddie. Not like, horizontal sleeping. Well, they was horizontal, they just wasn't nude. You know what I'm saying? They was fully clothed. They were just cuddling. Which I could have just said that the first time. Cuddling. Oh my goodness. So she ends up taking this opportunity of not being watched to go out and call the others, joining her sisters in the streets. Meanwhile, Ren expresses to Ben and Maddie that she wants more between them than kissing, and they reply like they didn't think that she wanted more, but I was like, yes, Ren wants more. I was just like, the look on Ben and Maddie's faces though was like, I wish you could see my face that I'm making. They'd be funny, but it was like, okay, she wants more. Okay. They had that laughter like, okay, girl, you ain't ready for all this. Anyway. And so then Ren tells them that sometimes in there, underwater, that sometimes the males can die from too much mating, which makes sense. Because when you see how the males look in their mermaid form versus the females don't have that little stinger at the end of their tails. Only the females have that. So which clearly means the females are more dangerous. I mean, the men are dangerous, but the females are clearly more dangerous, especially underwater, especially with those tail things. So if the way they mate is by hitting the male with their tails, if he gets hit with that stinger, that he's gonna die. So it makes sense that they probably do die a lot from the mating, especially if you're doing it with multiple females. It kind of makes sense. So Ren has to pretty much learn how men and women can be equal within their society, because the way the mermaids society goes overseas, there's a matriarch. Females are clearly more aggressive. The males are pretty much like soldiers, kind of like bees. Bees? How bees work? You have the queen, you have the female bees, and you have the male bees. They pretty much like are soldiers, and one of them just prominently mates with a female. So with Ren saying that it's pretty much the same thing. And when they eating, females have to eat first. And then Maddie also told her that, sometimes it's not equal for men and women on land either. So, but we don't have a matriarchy, we have a patriarchy. But either way you go, whether there's a matriarchy or patriarchy, one gender is going to be placed as a secondary citizen in the society. If the patriarchy is women, if the matriarchy is men, as we can see. So an equal society would probably be better for both genders overall. Just saying. So meanwhile, on the boat, Xander tries to treat Katrina's wound, realizing the healing powers of mermaids are strong. So that probably makes sense why the military wanted them so bad. Because we see Katrina heal quickly. Like, she got injured. I'm not sure how the time thing is going up in the show, but I'm guessing it's the next day after she got her ass whooped. Yeah. So she healed quickly. So clearly that's another reason why they want the military want them for medical uses. I mean, think about it. You got this medical miracle. It can make a holy ton of money off that. Think about the way they can make money off that. Oh yeah. I'm not sure if it has any military usage. So far, I've only seen a medicinal one, but maybe there is some sort of military usage they could probably use mermaid for. I don't know yet. I mean, it's the military. They're probably gonna find some way to make military use out of it. So they got a tentative arrangement. Communication is actually easy because their communication strong. It's pretty simple. Ren, weak. Not really a lot of adjectives going on. Prepositions. I forgot the rest of my grammar that quick. He wants to use her for revenge, and she'll likely use him to regain control of people. One thing's clear, it's about to get real rough. So, Ren is still learning. While this is Ren is still with, Ben and Maddie, and they have to explain to her making love is different than how they make love. Because when humans do it, we do it, sometimes we feel good because we're in love with a person, Sometimes that's a feel good thing. We're going to repeat the same thing in different words. Feel good or make love. And, both parties have to be equally pleasured. You know what I'm saying? They are equally pleasured. So she's learning that, but Cammy, they end up finding Cammy. They find them trying to get into the tank, which makes sense because they're not used to being on land. Kind of think about it. If you're used to being a certain way and you've been wanting to go home and you can't go home, you got this temporary fix, it's not going to be enough. You're going to want to go back home. So they really want to go back home, but they can't because, the waves. And then Cammy is still, feeling because of mom's death. She probably thought she was come on land to see her mommy. Find out your mama dead. You don't know what happened. You don't know how to express your sadness. It's a lot, It's just a lot. So Ben ends up getting a visit from the reporter in Seattle. He's able to use the journalist to discover more about the drilling, such that it probably won't be coming to a stop any soon, considering they found oil. So now, since they found oil, it's about to get real serious. Instead of the sonic wave things, that means now they're about to bring in an oil drill. If they bring in an oil drill, that means they're coming with the oil rig. And you know where it goes from there. So he ends up getting surprised later from Xander. Meanwhile, he's got a high Levi while trying to reconnect with his old pal. Xander tells him about finding Katrina. Sounds like he might be feigning interest in helping the mer people back to the water while using it to strike down Levy. Yet both he and Ben aren't happy about the local water being destroyed by the oil company. And don't forget Miss Nicole, who nobody has suspected yet. I'm just like, her as a character too. Like, I get it. Nicole is doing her job, but seriously, this man, you using people's emotions. I just don't like when people are being emotionally manipulated. It's just something that bothers me so much. It really does. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, Katrina goes to the warehouse where Sarge is, who's guarding the tank by himself. She tries to order him around and he won't listen because, Katrina, you got your ass whipped, boo, in front of everybody. So he's not gonna follow you, the leader, which is another thing that I'm saying about the mer people is that they have this matriarch society, yet they're very quick to disobey their current leader, like very quickly in terms of Ren. So Sarge is not barred and Levi is not barred. There's two men won't barred, but the women are very easily like, oh yeah, Ren's weak. Let's follow you, Katrina. Like, y'all saw Katrina get her ass whipped twice, and y'all still following his blood. Y'all loyalty is very fickle. I see that. For a matriarch society, your loyalty is very fickle. I figure it'd be more female unity, but y'all very, very fickle. This Katrina probably inside probably dreaming. Y'all not real loyal to Ren right now. Y'all loyalty is fickle. Like, So meanwhile with Maddie, she ends up going home. Finds her mama has a bruised eye, and this is where Susan wants to pretty much confess everything. Don't want to lie no more because obviously if you lie, they're just gonna find out anyway. So she telling about Glenn. Glenn was a drug dealer. She didn't do anything romantic with him, but he was a drug dealer. He's brought drugs. That's it. And this is also where she meets Ren for the first time. And we see that even though Maddie is sort of upset with everything, that she does care for Mama, even though it's like, Mom, why did you get back on the drugs? Doing so good. She does care for her Mama, which makes sense. You just want your mom to get better, but the mom has to. But you can't force an addict to get better. They have to do it on their own. They'll do it very well. So we have Katrina going back to the house where she finds, as I said, she got Cammy, which kind of feels bad because she's like, humans killed mother, Ren weak. Cammy's emotional right now, so it's very easy to persuade her. Which is, again, as I said, I don't like people using their emotion to manipulate people. I don't like that. And then we get more information about Rick. He explains that he has a sister. She had him committed to a state hospital, which I'm like, damn, that's fucked up, dude. Helen, what's going on with your bloodline, girl? And they don't go to speak. So Helen suggests to reach out to his sister and explain the truth about their bloodline. And Susan is missing her wedding ring. So Maddie, and Ren go back to the motel where she went with Glenn recently. So Maddie goes into the room by herself, but the door is locked, so she sneaks a key. She gets up, breaking into the room, finding the ring. Glenn comes back. He threatens her, but Ren comes in, saves the day, snaps his head, killing him. Ben decides to go inside the water for a closer look at the oil company's work. Xander keeps watching top. So Ben is then sucked away in an undertow after a sonic cannon blasts him through the waves. And he and Xander witness his father having a clandestine meeting on the wharf. What I also found interesting, well, what I thought was really, really funny about this episode was, when Ren, oh my goodness, Ren is in the car with Maddie's mom, Susan, and she's like, Ben is love, and the mom's like, oh, that's so sweet. Ren makes love with Ben and Maddie, and mom's like, oh, okay. I'm just like, Ren, you don't tell somebody's mom that you want to make love, but not only their daughter and her boyfriend. That's not something you talk with parents about. So we clearly need to talk to Ren about things it's not to say to parents, clearly. But overall, this episode had its interesting moments. This one was more story driven, I guess you could say, more intense with the whole plan and everything, which is good. So we can move the plot along more with this oil company thing. So I'm trying to figure out how they're gonna handle that, because they clearly can't have these mermaids on land for too long. So how they're gonna handle this oil company is definitely gonna be interesting. But anyway, comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time for the next episode of Siren. Bye.